Hi everyone, welcome to Miltown Malbay Library. My name is Helen, and to celebrate family time at your library, I'd like to read you this story, Danny's Crazy Christmas, written by Brianóg, Brady Dawson, illustrations by Michael Connor, and published by O'Brien Press. Yippee, said Danny. He zoomed into the sitting room. He jumped over a big box of decorations. Tomorrow is Christmas, he shouted. Dad took the box. Out of my way, Danny, he said. I can't find the angel for the Christmas tree. Danny threw some tinsel on his little sister Susie. She looks silly. Put Susie on top of the tree, Dad, he shouted. Dad switched on the tree lights. Go and help Granny and Mum, Danny, he said. Danny dashed out to the kitchen. Granny was busy too. The kitchen table was full of clothes. Danny counted 3 jumpers, 4 ties, 2 pairs of slippers, 5 pairs of gloves, a big blue dressing gown, and lots of scarves. Are you packing, Granny? He said. Are you going somewhere very, very cold? Granny got a roll of fancy paper. She got some sticky tape. Don't be silly, Danny, she said. I'm wrapping Christmas presents. Danny laughed. I'm not silly, he said. You're silly, Granny. Clothes aren't presents. Granny began counting on her fingers. Bessie, Tom, Lucy, Ben. And Jack and Rick, said Mum. Don't forget them. Everybody's coming here for Christmas. Oh dear, Granny said. I need to buy more presents. Mum got her coat. She got Granny's coat. She got Danny's coat. But Danny stamped his foot. I'm not going Christmas shopping again, he said crossly. I hate the shops. Mum was in a hurry. Santa's grotto is at the shops, she said. You can tell him what you want for Christmas. Danny pulled his coat on. Hurry up, Granny, he yelled. He raced out the door. We have to tell Santa to bring me the HD Mega Game Station 4. My friend Mark says it's the best. The shopping centre was very noisy and crowded. Granny got more presents. Mum got a headache. Danny got cross. Then Danny saw a big sign. Santa's grotto, he read. He dashed inside. Santa had a long white beard. He had a bright red suit. He had a big friendly smile. Danny told him what he wanted for Christmas. Ooh, said Santa, that's a big present. Danny, make sure there's plenty of room under your Christmas tree. Danny nodded. Then Santa frowned. I hope your chimney is clean, Danny, he said. Dirty chimneys make my suit very messy. Mrs. Claus gets very cross. Danny nodded again. One more thing, said Santa. Rudolph gets very hungry. Put out some food for him, will you? Danny nodded again. I'm going to be very busy, he thought. On the way home, they stopped at the supermarket. We need turkey, ham, Brussels sprouts, Mum said. Danny thought of Rudolph. And lots of carrots, he said. When they got home, Danny put all the carrots in Mum's roasting tin. He put the tin outside the front door. Rudolph will find them there, he thought. Then Danny went to the Christmas tree. Dad had left a mess under it. Danny pushed away all the empty boxes. Then he saw Susie under the tree. She was eating some tinsel. Out of the way, Susie, shouted Danny. Santa said to leave plenty of room under the tree for my Christmas present. But Susie didn't move, so Danny grabbed her legs and pulled her away from the tree. Wah, crowed Susie, wah. Danny, yelled Mum, go and play at Mark's house. Danny made a face at Susie and ran next door to Mark's house. There was a big yellow skip outside Mark's house. Danny jumped up and peeped inside. He saw bits of carpet. He saw a toaster. He saw a broken stool. Mum cleaned the whole house, said Mark. She dumped lots of rubbish. Mark's mum saw them. Keep away from that skip, you two, she yelled. So Mark and Danny ran back to Danny's house. They found Granny in the sitting room. She was fast asleep. Danny looked under the tree. "Oh no," he said. "Granny has put all her presents here. There's no room for my present." He kicked Granny's presents. "Stupid clothes presents," he said. "Yuck," said Mark. "I hate clothes presents." "Yeah," agreed Danny. "Clothes are rubbish." And just then, Danny had a wonderful idea. He looked at Granny asleep in the chair. "Mark, let's dump this rubbish," he said. "Let's put it in the skip." Mark nodded. "We must be quick," he said. "Mum says the men will take the skip away soon." Danny picked up a present. It had a big blue ribbon on it. "This must be the stupid dressing gown," he said. He made a face at Granny. Then they ran to Mark's house. Danny threw the present into the skip. "That was fun," he said. "Let's dump some more." Mark and Danny dumped more of Granny's stupid presents. Then Mark ran off home. Danny smiled to himself. "Santa will be pleased," he thought. "There's lots of room under my tree. I have lots of food for Rudolph, and Granny might help me clean the chimney." Danny bent down beside Granny's chair. He looked up the chimney. It was dark and dusty. "Granny," he shouted, "will you help me clean the chimney?" But Granny just snored. "Danny," called Mum, "will you help me clean the chimney?" he yelled. Mum was too busy. "I'm looking for the roasting tin," she said. "I can't find it anywhere." Danny shook his head. "I'll have to clean the chimney all by myself," he thought. Danny got the big garden hose. He wheeled it into the sitting room. "This will go all the way up the chimney," he thought. Then he went outside again and turned on the garden tap. The water gushed into the hose. It gushed all the way down the hose. Danny ran back to the sitting room and the water gushed out. But it didn't go up the chimney. It gushed all over Granny. She jumped up, she waved her arms, she coughed and spluttered. She was soaked. Danny tried to grab the hose. Granny tried to grab it too. The hose jumped and hopped around the room. Granny jumped and hopped too. The hose knocked Granny to the floor. Then it hit the Christmas tree. All the lights went out and the tree came crashing down. Mum and Dad rushed in. Danny dived behind the couch. Mum picked up Granny. Dad picked up the Christmas tree. And Danny sneaked upstairs. Next morning, Danny woke very early. It was snowing. "It's Christmas," he yelled. He dashed downstairs. "Happy Christmas, Danny," said Mum. She was putting towels on the floor. "I think Santa has left something for you," said Dad. He was putting new bulbs in the Christmas tree lights. Danny saw a huge box under the tree. He dived in. Danny tore open the box. "Yes!" he sang. He jumped up and down with joy. "The HD Mega Game Station 4, he screamed. "I hope Santa gave me some games too." Danny searched the box. He couldn't see any games. He punched the box. "What good is the HD Mega Game Station 4 without games?" he moaned. But Granny said, "Santa can't bring everything. He's very busy. That's why he asks grannies to help." And Granny began to crawl under the tree. Danny clapped his hands. He hugged his HD Mega Game Station 4. "Oh, Granny," he said, "you got me some games. You're the best." Granny pulled presents. She pushed presents. She squeezed presents. Then she shook her head. "I had 4 wonderful games for you, Danny," she said. "I had them wrapped in fancy paper and a big blue ribbon." "But I can't find them anywhere," said Granny. Danny dropped his HD Mega Game Station 4 with a bang. "A big blue ribbon? No!" Danny raced out the front door. The snow was very deep. The skip," he yelled. But the skip was gone. Danny was very cross. He stamped his foot. It landed in Mum's roasting tin. "Ah!" he cried. He slid down the path in the snow. Everyone laughed. But Danny didn't laugh. "I'll never do anything like this again," he said. "Never, never, never." But I think he will, don't you? Danny is just that kind of kid. The end.